It's Friday and welcome back to another episode of Willy's Garden. I'm just about to transplant some plants. We got these in Aldi. Aldi and Lidl are selling plants now. These were about $2.99 or something. We've got strawberries. I'm going to plant them in bigger pots. We've got 6 peppers, bell boy, capsicum peppers. We've got tomato alicante, 6 of them. We've got tomato mini plum. So these are going to need to be kept in a greenhouse now because it's too cold in Ireland for them. And I've just got some pots here, just small wee pots I can transplant these in so the roots can get a chance to grow bigger. And I took this out of my room. This is my tomato plants from last year. As you can see, there's a tomato or two. I had them in my room just, but they died. And it's infested with spiders. If you can see that, that's spider webs there. So I'm a bit hesitant to go near it. But I'm going to have to take them all out of the pots and free up the pots in case these aren't enough. Right, so I'm going to just transplant them. I might start with the strawberries. Transplant them into one of these pots here. And then we'll put them in the greenhouse. Right, so you're going to want to water your plants before you plant them, just to make sure they're nice and watered. I'm just going to water them under this tap here. They haven't been watered since we bought them, and we bought them yesterday, so hopefully this gives them a good bit of nutrients. Although you need fertilizer for that. Now I'm just going to take them over here. I've got some compost. Good doggies. Got some compost here. Just multi-purpose compost. You can get it in any shop, like Homebase or any garden shop. Got a good bit of it in there. So I'm just going to fill the pots with that, and then place the strawberries individually into the pots. It's not much bigger than that pot, but it's a bit bigger, so it'll do the job. Okay, so you just want to fill the pot halfway up to the top with compost from your bag, and then take the seedling, which you take out of that, just tip it upside down and tap it. It'll come out, and just place the seedling in, place it into the pot, and maybe add a bit more compost to each side, and just squash it down there. Squash it down so it's in. Might add a bit more just in here. And just, that's it. That's 2 done. We're going to do all of them. That's all our strawberries done. Now we're just going to water them thoroughly and then place them in the greenhouse. That's the strawberries in the greenhouse now. They'll sit there now for a good month, let's say, before I get the plastic on that greenhouse up there and plant them in that. Now on to the tomatoes, the mini plum tomatoes. We're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to need more pots, so I'm going to have to red out this and get all them pots. Rain's on, but I'm going to keep going. Alright, so what I do is I take a pot, pack it to the hilt with this compost. Just pack it up tight, fill it to the top, and then make a wee hole. And actually there's some of this gel. It says to mix this gel with the soil for water retention, so I'm just putting some of that in as well. Putting a bit of the gel in, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but hopefully that'll help retain moisture. So now what I do is just take the wee plant, push up from the bottom with my finger till it comes up, and then just lift it out very gently because I don't want to damage the roots. And then very gently place it into the hole. Maybe put a wee bit more compost on top. And I'm just doing that with each one. 2 done already. That's some mini plum tomatoes in there. They're at the bottom right. Strawberries bottom left. And now peppers and more tomatoes are going to go up here. I've got a conundrum. I only have big pots left now, no more wee pots. So I'm going to put the peppers in this one that the strawberries came in, because they're only wee. So they should grow in here for a while until I get more pots. And then I'll just have to fill the rest of the strawberries into these big pots here. But fuck it, they'll keep growing, like they'll grow big. I use the exact same method for these peppers. Put them in that, just push them up with my finger from underneath and lift it by the stem and the dirt, and just gently lift it out and place it in, cover it over and then water it. That's them peppers. I've watered them and placed them in there. Now I'm just going to fill these pots up with these tomatoes because I have no more wee pots. That's them done now. You're going to want to water them thoroughly because they're in big pots, like, so you're going to need a lot of water. I'm not an expert, like, I don't know how much, but I'm just trying to get all the jug to do all of them. It's not going to work. So just water them thoroughly, and I'm going to place them in here then. Right, so that's the tomato Alicante up on the top. The strawberries there. Small tomatoes, peppers, and big tomatoes. Now I'm just going to close that up and leave it, and come back and check the soil every day and feel the soil to see if it's dry, and when it's dry I'll water them. So you just need to water them when the soil's dry. And I can keep these wee things they came in to grow seeds on. Keep them inside on a windowsill. I'll give them extra heat, help them grow quicker. So I'm going to clean all this up now and get at something else. Right, I've got the wee pots from me, the tomatoes came in with the wee greenhouse. And I've got some basil seeds, or basil seeds I mean. Fucking YouTube, they're all saying basil. And I'm just going to fill up the wee seed trays with compost, with soil, like, and just going to fill them in, and then make sure they're all full up. And I'm going to take them over and water them thoroughly so the soil is nice and full of moisture. Then I'm just going to plant the wee basil seeds in 1 centimeter deep, and then sprinkle some soil over the top of them. Put them in the wee greenhouse, and then they'll germinate in 2 weeks. So that's what I'm going to do now. Greenhouse, I'm going to put them in and put them on a windowsill then. These are the basil seeds, the basil seeds I've got. Sweet basil from last year. So they've been in a sealed container, sealed up so in a Ziploc bag, so they'll hopefully work. Just going to put them in now. I've just put my finger in the packet, my wet finger, and took out about 7 at a time, 7 seeds, and put them in. Because personally I think the more seeds, the more chance there is of one surviving. I know that might be overcrowded, but I can take out ones that I don't need, that are weak. Now I'm just lightly covering it with some of this muck I used earlier, this compost. So you just lightly cover with soil. And now I put it in the wee greenhouse. There's gel in there as well, underneath. Some sort of gel that helps retain moisture. So that'll help them germinate. Now, I'm just going to seal that up. And we'll place it on a windowsill inside for 2 weeks now, and then we'll see wee sprouts coming up. Basil now. Sorry, I'm watching a YouTube video on how to garden. Yeah. So once these seedlings come up, we're going to want to plant them along with the tomatoes in the greenhouse outside, the big greenhouse. because they're a great companion plant. They need the same kind of stuff that tomatoes need. So they need a warm climate. They need plenty of fertilizer and just water and stuff. So we'll plant them out there once they grow big. After they grow out into these, we'll plant them into them wee pots, and hopefully outside the ones we already planted, we can move to bigger pots. So we can put these in weir pots, and I've got a wee tray to put them on. I've already showed you how to weed and how to turn the soil. Now, I covered it twice. My first episode and my third. There was no point in doing that. So I'm just going to weed this. You don't need to see it. You already know how to do it, like, so let's get at it. There was a thistle. That's a very jagged weed. Big massive thistle. I just went in with the shears and cut it at the base and threw out all the stuff using the shears. So that's how you take care of a thistle. I'm going to go in and try and get the root now. Dig around the root and pull it up. Weeding that. And I found some beetroots from last year that I missed. I plucked them and gave them to my uncle. He likes beetroots. But I missed these ones. So I'm going to take them in and clean them off. And that one looks a bit eaten there. Maybe that one might be alright. See if they're edible. Hopefully. Fucking the dogs here. And it's lambing season. The sheep in this field have had lambs and all. The farmer will be watching, so I don't want to film too much, but that's the lambs. Little do they know they're going to be eaten soon by consumers. As you can see too, here's the fields where the farmers keep the sheep and cows. And you'll notice a lot of one bushes with yellow flowers. They seem to be, they pop up, they just grow everywhere. They're a weed, like. They're very sharp and prickly. They're called one bushes around here, and yeah, it's just a local weed that pops up anywhere it can. Turning that bed. I was going to put some weed fabric on it, but there's not much point because I have to get compost next week and mix it in with the soil before I do that. Right, that's me done. I've got clattered, got my tools washed, and that's me for the day. Gotta go get more compost and shit. So, till next time. We'll get into this stuff next time. Willy G signing out.